I'm just gonna assume most of you guys do not follow me on Instagram, therefore you are not up to date of what's going on in my life. I just got a job. There's a lot to the story. There are a lot of emotions that I have gone through, am going through still, lots of stress. But for the sake of this video, I wanna talk about imposter syndrome. Yet again, yes, I'm talking about imposter syndrome in my life. Except this time, it's really weird to me because yes, I've had imposter syndrome regarding YouTube, but I don't really see YouTube as real life, if that makes sense, because it's like, it's going on the internet. I'm now facing imposter syndrome in what I call real life, as in my day-to-day life, like people I'm interacting with. I'm actually filming this after having just gotten home from work, and it's my second official day. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because at this point, honestly, my imposter syndrome has kind of lessened until, I don't know, something happens and it spikes back up again. But we're gonna back up to 2 weekends ago. I'm gonna give you some background, and to be honest, I don't know if it's really relevant or not to this story. I'm winging this whole video because, like I said, I came home from work, I was in a high energy mood, I'm in a good mood, and I said, let's just film this. So my mother-in-law bought a fabric shop. It has already been established, it's been in business for over 10 years, and she was very involved in the shop prior to purchase. One of the reasons why she purchased was because her, as well as many other ladies, were actually kind of worried about what would happen to the shop if someone else were to buy it. They do hold classes, they do quilting, sell fabric, sell machines, all that jazz. So people were really excited that she bought the shop because it was someone from their little community, someone that they knew loved the hobby, loved the shop for what it was, and they knew she was someone who was going to try and continue on this shop legacy. Now, my husband and I do have positions at the shop. I have been nominated as social media manager, hence my imposter syndrome. I've been helping my husband with his YouTube channel for, I think, 3 years. We might be going on our 4th year now, but I still feel like a newbie. He is monetized. I help film his content. I edit his content. I even help occasionally. Side note, his most recent video, I'm the one that kind of filmed it, and I'm super proud at how it came out. I'm not really sure how his audience feels about me because his audience are not you guys, okay? So they weren't used to this. In fact, I'm not even used to this right now. Like, my energy level is through the roof. I don't know what's going on. We'll see how that video does on his channel. It was fun to make it. It was a way for me to actually be involved with the DIY stuff that I'm not fond of while still helping him get content, you know? I do have some self-taught experience under my belt with social media. I'm not saying I'm the greatest, but I'm saying I helped get him monetized, so I must be doing something right. So let's talk about my insecurities, because that's really what imposter syndrome is revolving around, your insecurities. What are you insecure about? I was basically aware of all of this. It was just a matter of accepting it. But like I said, it's a quilt shop, it's a fabric shop, it's a sewing machine shop. I have no background in any of that. I honestly don't even have interest in it. I like seeing the different quilts that people have made. I think it's amazing how people can make their own clothes. A close friend of mine has her own kids' clothing business and she sews all the clothes herself. So I think it's a great hobby. It's just not my hobby. Because I don't have that interest, I don't have a background in sewing, quilting, fabric. And well, that's my insecurity. One of them at least. The insecurity of not knowing anything. And people have been so nice about explaining things, be it people from the convention I went to last weekend. I should get back to that. The convention I went to the other fellow employees, I've asked questions and they are so nice to explain it to me. Like, it's not them at all. It's not like anyone's making me feel stupid for not knowing things. It's all in my own head. Like, I know it is. Another insecurity of mine is the fact that this is my first job out of college. Honestly, saying that out loud kills me. I am so embarrassed, and I've had people tell me there's nothing to be embarrassed about. And I know it's all self-placed embarrassment, shame, guilt, just a mixture of all of it because, haha, Asian. Being Asian comes with Asian expectations from Asian parents. So that's where that stems from. So yes, I do know I am placing standards on myself. I do know those are just feelings I need to like resolve, work through on my own. I know it's on me. I'm doing it to myself. But that doesn't make them any less real. That doesn't mean they don't exist. I know I am so blessed and I am very lucky to have a husband that has always provided for me. He has never pushed me to not get a job or to get a job. He's always supported me in whatever I wanted to do. Now, I did try to get a job after college. Some stuff happened. And basically, I took it personally. I know I shouldn't have. I didn't do anything wrong. I was perfectly qualified for the job. I found out later I did actually get the job. The person who was hiring wanted me. HR interfered. We're not going to go there. But I took the rejection personally. And then when we moved to Texas, my husband deployed. I was job hunting constantly. I even got an email back for an interview. I responded. They ghosted me. My husband came back from deployment. And after that, I basically just existed. I was going through the whole, I have no purpose. I don't know what my purpose is. I was just focusing on still improving myself physically, mentally, rather than job hunting because my husband supported me. When he got out of the military, that's when we shifted gears and started focusing on starting his YouTube channel. And we're not making millions or anything like that, by no means, but it is bringing in some extra income now. And we've been okay. So this is my first real grown-up job. And oh, another insecurity. It has nothing to do with my educational background, okay? So I also feel a little some type of way about the fact that I have like 2 majors and 2 minors that I have never touched. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little salty about that. Granted, it is my fault. I didn't know what I wanted to study and I just did whatever my parents told me to. So that is on me. Like I said before, this is therapy. So the sewing machine brand we sell held a convention in St. Louis. That's where I was like 2 weekends ago. And I was so nervous because now not only am I stepping into this role as someone who kind of feels doubtful of their own abilities, now I was going to be surrounded by hundreds of people whose businesses revolved around the sewing and vacuum industry. So I was nervous. After registration, I essentially put myself into this mindset of I am never going to see these people again. If anyone does mock me, make fun of me, be it for my position or my lack of knowledge, that's more of a reflection on them than it is me. And it's just not that deep. I really don't know if I believed it or not, but I kept telling myself that. I went in the first night. There was a giant awards ceremony dinner that we had, and like I met a couple people. And they were so nice. They were so welcoming to me. I met some amazing people at that convention. They explained things to me. They told me their experiences, their life story. And the first night went well. So a little bit of my nerves settled. The next day was a whole day of lectures. And again, I put myself into this mentality of it doesn't matter what anyone says. It's okay to feel embarrassed. You're never going to see them again. Who cares what they think? And I think I had resting bitch face at breakfast. Honestly, it had the opposite effect of what I thought was gonna happen. Oddly enough, people were approaching me. So I guess my face wasn't too bitchy. The people approached me and I smiled, said, yes, these seats are available. Sit with us, eat breakfast with us. We chatted. I started to get to know the people and they were wonderful. In fact, I met a group from New Jersey who let me tag along with them the entire time after I met them. And it was just great. They were great people. Like they were explaining terms to me when we were in the classes. They were letting me soundboard off of them for some ideas I had. And it was a better experience than I anticipated. Now, I know it kind of sounds like I went into the convention with this expectation of like, these people are going to be awful. They're going to be mean. They're going to make fun of me. They're going to make comments. But it's not that I was actually expecting them to. Reasonably, I knew most of the people were going to be kind. They were going to be helpful, give me some information, give me encouragement, and they did. But it was just a way for me to help mentally prepare myself in case someone did want to be rude to me about not having knowledge in the sewing fabric machine industry or even being a social media manager. let's get into the whole insecurity about being a social media manager. Let's be honest, there is still a huge stigma, controversy around being a social media manager, around being a content creator, around being an influencer, around anything in the digital space. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. Aside from a few select people in real life, I haven't told anyone that me and Nico do content creation. And it's because there is still that stigma around it, that it's not a real job, that it's so easy, that I could just press the record button and post videos too. I think most people are reasonable and understand that there's more to it than just pressing the record button and just pressing post. They understand there's a lot to it. There's the editing, that in itself can be overwhelming. But again, just because you know there are people who are reasonable doesn't make it any less easier to say it out loud. So at this convention, when I was meeting all these people, these different business owners, these different employees who were there to represent their shops, I was so nervous to say that I was here on behalf of my shop as their social media manager. Part of me expected there to be other social media managers, or for other people to say, oh yeah, we have one, or they have some huge online presence. The reality is, the age of the industry, the age of the people in that hobby are older, which means they are not as technologically advanced. So from that viewpoint, I was afraid of people kind of looking down on my position and on what I'm going to be doing for the business. But on the other hand, there were lots of people who were impressed because they were telling me how they tried to post a video and it was so difficult and it was a disaster, and they understand how hard this position is and that it is a lot of work. So that made me feel a lot better. I don't even know if this video was really focused on a particular thing like I wanted it to, or if it ended up just becoming a very chatty, spilling my guts to you, telling you what's going on in my life that no one even asked for. I figured I would share because I thought imposter syndrome was something that I had gotten under control, and I had no idea that it could manifest itself in a whole new light, in a whole new manner in my life, because I've been posting videos. Oh gosh, I think I'm like only a few months away from like a whole year. So I've been dealing with imposter syndrome for over a year, like probably 2 years. And I figured, okay, at least I can now identify these feelings. At least I know what I kind of need to do. Nico gives me a pep talk. So then finding that I'm getting imposter syndrome in a new aspect of my life, in a new manner, where I'm dealing with people in real life. I'm coming face to face with other employees, customers, and I'm going to be doing this job. I guess I just thought I would share that I'm still experiencing imposter syndrome and still having to figure out how to deal with it. I guess maybe the lesson is that even if you work through something, it could manifest itself again in your life in a new way. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is more of a let me just inform you of what I've been going through and what's happening in my life kind of chit chat video. I hope I didn't scare you away with how animated and energetic I am right now. I don't know if this is gonna happen again, this kind of energy level. We decided to wake up 30 minutes earlier than we normally do in hopes that we can get to the gym faster, which then means we can get to the shop faster, and it'll just like, you know, fit everything in our schedule, because that's another thing we're having to figure out, a new routine for ourselves. And I'm bouncing off the walls. I don't know where this energy is coming from. I'm not tired at all, and I hope I don't crash tonight. This is actually also the reason why I've fallen to an every other week posting schedule, because I'm now having to balance this job and balance Nico's content, because his content makes a little money. My channel's not monetized yet. Get me monetized, and then maybe I can focus more on this channel. This is honestly probably my fastest filming session ever because of how fast I am talking, and I'm just in a chatty mood. Like, I think filming has been barely 30 minutes. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for listening to me. I'll see you in the next video.